Josh here, Wargaming Noob Historical, back with another update for my Bolt Action Firefight 1/35th scale project. So, the way that I'm going to tackle how I go about building my forces up for Bolt Action Firefight 1/35th scale is to tackle projects on a monthly basis. As you can see, I do have quite a few things that I need to work on, some of which have already been completed. So by the next time I update, I'm going to remove some of the stuff that I've already completed and just leave the uncompleted things on this list just to keep it clean. That said, January 2025 will be the first time that I will be trying to go through an entire project from start to finish. I'm going to film it as one whole video, so it's not going to be me releasing updates for that specific project on a weekly basis. There'll be one whole video, longer form video, for the specific kit that I'm working on. I'm hoping that this will hold me accountable so that by the time I've completed my work for January 2025, I'll have a few more things available that I can use when I'm starting to demo Bolt Action Firefight in 3rd edition. This is the list. As you can see, I've actually broken it up for some of the items that I want to do separately from the rest of the main list. Namely, the Kubelwagen project and then the U.S. Infantry Squad project. First part of 2025, hopefully this will just take a couple weeks, the first part of January. I'm going to paint the Italeri Kubelwagen and then assemble the Kubelwagen crew as well as paint it. I'm going to add that on the list. The second part of January will be all U.S. Related. It'll be the Infantry Squad box from Tamiya that I bought to build up my U.S. Infantry force. The goal is to assemble the infantry and then to paint the infantry. And then hopefully by the end of January, both of these projects will be done. We'll circle back, show them all off, including all the stuff that I've completed for the project. And then we will move on to February, in which I will pick another 2 kits that I will continue to work on for that month. So February 2025 will be 2 separate kits from this main list here. And as I work through it, hopefully by the summer or sooner, I will have enough miniatures and models to do a 1/35th scale firefight battle report, as well as a demo of how to play Bolt Action 3rd edition, but with larger 1/35th scale figures. So anyway, let's move on to the next part of the video, which will be the first part of the progress for the Kubelwagen project. Right, first part of my Kubelwagen project for January 2025, painted or actually primed the Kubelwagen in black. I'm going to go over with like a desert yellow or a tan or something like that, and then do some camo on it. Unfortunately, while I was priming, I dropped the model, broke off the mirror that was on this side. Can't find it. I'm going to have to forego it. I might actually chop this off because I have broken off this particular mirror quite a few times. And then I'll just like kind of, I don't know, model over where the hole is. It's hard, especially since I'm going to be using this as a wargaming piece, to have these fiddly pieces, especially when you're handling the model. I think it's more conducive, obviously, at this scale for dioramas, but since I'm doing a 1/35th scale bolt action project, I will be handling these models a little bit more than normal. They will not be on display, so I may have to modify how I do some of the vehicles and the armor and some of the fiddly parts that are attached to those models. But other than that, as you can see, I have put some crew in there. I put the driver. They're not glued in, obviously, because I haven't painted them yet. Unfortunately, the one passenger guy that I wanted to use, which is this guy. Hopefully you guys can see that because I can't see the camera. Unfortunately, the door of the Kubelwagen is too high. And when I used my glue for the arm, obviously using plastic glue, it's fused that arm, so I can't really adjust it. The only other passenger that I could use was the female from the master box set. She sits right there in the front and sits perfectly. I did get one of the officers to be able to sit in the back. Let me see if I can turn him around. It's a little tight back there, but this guy can actually sit there. The way his legs are crossed allows for him to fit there. So unfortunately, I couldn't use this guy. One, his arm, and two, because he would be sitting like right in the rear there. his legs wouldn't fit. So obviously the Master Box set is probably used more for the staff cars than a Kubelwagen. I unfortunately I was able to find a Kubelwagen crew on eBay that was resin, but they were Fallschirmjäger, I guess. Wouldn't go with what I'm using this car for. But that said, that Master Box set worked out pretty well. And as you can see, my Kubelwagen is now fully crewed. So, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting some stuff up, and I will be back with an update on the vehicle as well as the models in the vehicle. All right, here's the progress on the Kubelwagen project. As you can see, I have the crew painted up and finished. I have them currently sitting in the Kubelwagen. The Kubelwagen itself obviously is not finished, but I did paint it in its main color, which is Dunkelgelb. I will be working next on getting that done. Not sure if I'm going to put any camo on it just yet, but as you can see, the driver, officer, and the passenger fit very well. The female character was the only one that I could fit properly in the front of the Kubelwagen, because the figure that I wanted to initially use was a male NCO. The arm was a little bit too low for the height of the door for the Kubelwagen, so having her in there having her in the front really makes a difference because it fills out the vehicle, makes it look not as empty. The officer in the back worked out very well. He has his arm slung over the back of the seat there. I think normally the female passenger would be in the back, but I didn't have enough room in the back seat in order to put both of them there. The way the officer in the back is seated, he's cross-legged, which allowed me to fit him only in the back. But anyway, that is the current progress. When we come back, the Kubelwagen and everything else should be done for this project. All right, next Kubelwagen update. As you can see, all painted up and shaded and weathered. It was an interesting project. You know, when I was actually shading this with enamel wash with the gloss varnish trick, I actually was kind of unhappy with how it was coming out because I did a sludge wash, and obviously this would have required a more elegant wash, or like a pin wash, in terms of making it not look so messy. But as I worked with the enamel wash, which I'm very new to, using paint thinner, I was able to kind of clean it up a bit and kind of just leave the wash in the little crevices of the vehicle, and it came out pretty okay. There are a couple things that I would probably do differently. One, as you can see, both the both the mirrors on either side have been broken off. It's just me because it's just due to me handling the model so much. I tried to recover the mirrors, but it just wasn't, the bond wasn't strong enough. I just decided to remove them because I will be using this as a wargaming piece. So I'll be handling a lot more. It seems to still be a little bit glossy, but it's a lot less glossy than it was. I might do another coat of matte varnish before putting the crew in there. But all in all, it was a fun project. And I will definitely take what I've learned with doing this vehicle onto finishing my Willys Jeep for the U.S. Army project. So in any case, yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I had to like walk away from it for the night because with the enamel wash being the way it was, I just didn't think it was coming together. But after letting it cure overnight, it actually looks fairly decent, at least in my eyes. It's not perfect, but it certainly makes it look like a very well-used vehicle, and I can't wait to finish up the project. So the next update you're going to see will be the crew all glued in there, and we're going to finish off the video from there. And here it is, my Italeri 1/35 scale Kubelwagen with crew all completed. I'm very happy to have completed this project way ahead of schedule. I am filming this a couple weeks before the end of January. Again, with these projects that I'm doing per month, while it doesn't seem significant for folks that have a higher like turnout of models and painting like that, I, on the other hand, find this to be significant because obviously my output is not as fast as other people who are in the same hobby and niche. And I'm just happy to have completed it. I set out to do 2 projects for the month of January. You guys have seen the U.S. infantry box from Tamiya. That was my first project for the month. That's been completed, and now my Kubelwagen project is done. Everything came together. There was, unfortunately, a couple things about this Kubelwagen. The side mirrors are gone because in the time that I was handling the model, painting, all that stuff kept breaking off. Tried to use some plastic glue to kind of fuse it there, but because the parts themselves are so thin, it just at some point was not able to fuse properly anymore. Second thing I noticed, and I forgot this, was that I forgot the windshield. You could have the windshield either up or down. I believe I may have gotten rid of that windshield and the little plastic for the glass itself a while ago by accident, and totally forgot that it was supposed to have a windshield. I looked at many pictures of this particular model from Italeri, and yes, a windshield should be there. Unfortunately, I don't have it. I have seen some completed models without the windshield at all, so I'm just going to go with that. And the next time I do a Kubelwagen, I'll make sure that I will have the windshield whether it's up or down. So this is a model that I learned a few things when it comes to scale modeling in comparison to wargaming and wargaming modeling. It's a little bit more precise. Parts are a little bit more delicate. You need to be more cognizant of how accuracy is portrayed on these models. Whereas with wargaming models, you can get away with a lot of things because they are wargaming pieces. Fortunately for me, this is not totally a scale model project or a scale model miniature for me. This is a wargaming piece, and I will be using it for the upcoming bolt action 1/35 scale narrative campaign that I am preparing for sometime this year. It is definitely a nice piece to have, and I'm very happy to have completed it within the time that I set for myself. So goals are definitely something that is going to play a more significant part in the channel, because I want to churn out as much content as I can, and having a set specific goal helps to motivate me to get that done. So again, both January projects done. That means I'm going to be moving on to February. I've already started preliminary work on my February projects. The reveal for that is now. I will be painting up all the German infantry that I have unboxed on the channel, which is of course leading up to that bolt action 1/35 scale firefight narrative campaign. I need an opposing force for the U.S. infantry that I just completed, and then I'm going to do the Panzer II North Africa version of the tank that I have that's been sitting around for a while. I did do the Africa Corps guys, the infantry that were included, but now I'm gonna try my hand at a smaller armor piece now that I have some experience with this Kubelwagen and the upcoming Willys Jeep that I'm almost complete with, that I'll share an update on at some point. So now that I've earned a little bit of my stripes doing 1/35 scale infantry and some vehicles, I'm going to start doing armor. And the Panzer II that I've had sitting around will be the first of those armor projects. So February will be German infantry and the Panzer II. I'm hoping to get that done. Obviously, February is a shorter month than January, so I'll have to pick up the pace. But in any case, if you enjoyed this type of video on this channel, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And that's pretty much it. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new scale modeling projects coming out of the channel. And then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That's the best way I can personally interact with you and chit-chat you about scale modeling and everything else that I cover on the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more scale modeling projects from Wargaming Noob Historical.